Autobots, transform!
What is up, Transformers fans? Welcome to another episode of George Reviews. I am an 80s Transformer fan, and today I'll be reviewing Transformers Earthrise Arcee action figure. But here she is in her window style packaging. You can fully see the figure within. You can see her weird gun right here. It's sort of translucent. We'll get to that. Same standard Earthrise packaging. Turn to the side. There's Arcee wielding that gun, but it looks different in the artwork. And the funny thing is Earthrise Arcee, but there is her Cybertronian shell right there. And on the back, her Cybertronian car mode Arcee. Standard Earthrise stuff. The artwork from this line on the side of the packaging. Nothing special on the top unless you just want to check out Galvatron right there. We all know he's coming now. And that's pretty much it. So let's get Arcee open. Let's get right to it. Here is Arcee in half a clam bubble type thing. Just a figure and her gun, nothing special. Check out what's left in the box. And these things, they all have a hidden message in the decoder. I long since stopped caring about the message in the decoder. And here is her instruction booklet. I don't use instructions on this channel. Let's check out this decoder. Okay, let's see if we can find our word of the day. Dominus Junkion, our word of the day. Well, on to Arcee. She is tied down with a lot of safety / security ties, so let's get those off. Arcee is free. Set her down. And her only accessory is this kind of translucent, semi-translucent blaster. Just odd. I love translucent little things, but this one is kind of odd. Wonder why they did that. Might have some significance in the cartoon. Okay, on to the figure. And the first thing, well, there's two things. But okay, she kind of sort of always has the backpack, so that's going to be the secondary thing. But the feet, like, what the hell? I mean, what the hell? This is just to stabilize all this massive backpack. I guess, like, all right, that automatically looks bad. I'm immediately taking points for that. Immediately, and then we'll get to the giant backpack. But let's take a look at the figure. She's mostly Pepto-Bismol pink plastic with white plastic, and you just can't not notice the backpack. But I am happy that it all can store. I know this comes off, but I'm happy it all can store. And I guess that's why we have the giant stabilizers. But they could have gave us the option for these to fold up. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just take a look at the figure. Her face is a white plastic with blue eyes. No other paint apps on it than that. She still has the Princess Leia buns. Solid head all the way around. Well, mostly solid head all the way around. No light piping in this figure. Her paint looks pretty good. Although it's not much. She just has the gray right here, the blue in the eyes, the Autobot symbol. That looks good. So let me run down Articulation and just get this thing rolling. Her head, I'm not quite sure. I can't see. I'm going to just assume it's on the ball joint because it's so cool just to say her head is on the ball joint. It 360s. She's not getting zero up and down. I just popped this little thing out with my finger. Nothing up and down. Her arms are on like a little hinge with a little die-cast pin in it. It 360s. It hits the backpack and all that junk, but it does everything you need it to do. You get it in this far and out this far. She has a bicep swivel right there. You can see where it's pinned in. It looks like a ratchet, but I don't feel the teeth move at her elbow. Pretty good elbow bend right there coming to her wrist. It swings in and out. I'm pretty sure that might be the tuck away for transformation, and no rotation at that wrist. Coming to her waist with the gigantic backpack. Her waist will 360. I saw it because it had enough clearance. When I looked at it, I knew it was there. Her hips, there she can get her legs out this far. She can't quite do the splits like her male counterparts in this line. But she can give us this much. Okay. She can kick forward that far. She can kick back that far. It hits the kibble, and you can bend it, get it around the kibble. But man, the feet look ridiculous. They really do. Now, you probably gonna hear me say that throughout the reviews. The knee bend, it looks like a double joint, and it is a double joint. Trying to get the main joint. It's a semi-double joint. It's not moving that much right here, but it is moving. She can get her leg up that far. And coming down to her skis. Her skis rock forward, and there is nothing side to side, and that's kind of a shame. Can't a wider stand with the backpack. They just said skip it. She's gonna have the skis out to the side because articulation is only as good as the poses you can get a figure in. And with this backpack, let's see what Arcee can hold. 2 hands on that gun, which looks pretty good. She can actually drop to 1 knee, which is cool, and support that backpack. So I guess the backpack doesn't really hinder articulation. Yeah, I noticed something already. Instead of painting the gun gray, because they use gray paint, normally they won't make an extra paint app when they don't have to, but they use gray. Why wouldn't they hit this gun with gray unless it has some significance? Speaking of gun, let's see if we can get it in her hand. And man, it looks like an Earth style pistol. Look like she has a Glock or whatever. But she holds it just fine. I'm pretty sure she holds it in either hand because they're both the same. And I actually like her face. It's plain, but it's alright. It'll pass. I like the design of the main body. Only thing I don't like is the feet. And like I said, I'm pretty sure the box shows you at least the backpack comes off. And check that out. See a hinge pin, I think maybe. All right, it slots out. It's kind of weird. Kind of look like you're gonna break it, but it slots out right there. So she does not have to have that whole back piece on. I love that they give you that option to take it off because I'm not a huge parts forming guy. It's not the end of the world for me, but I like the fact that it can stay on during transformation because it like helps with the transformation challenge. At least I think it stays on during transformation, but this is what she looks like without it. Nice butt. When I say that, I mean like they went ahead and molded some detail on her, like her little butt piece back here. You know, it shows all the screws and like a port right here. But this is what she looks like without the backpack on. Pretty cool. You can see the Autobot, nice Autobot logo right there. So get the backpack. All right, with this piece off, the box shows she has a port right here and a peg right here. I'm assuming these are for blast effects. She has 2 of them. It just shows her where like her foot on it for whatever reason. So I'm going to do that because apparently that's a thing. She does that on the box, so she can do that. I don't know if it turns into a shield as well. Let me see it on the box. I don't know if she can hold it anywhere. Maybe at this giant thing. Just might break the thumb, but I'll give it a shot. Yeah, I guess it's awful heavy, but maybe she can use it as a shield, and that's one hell of a shield too. Now that is a shield, like she's stopping everything from coming that way, then firing back. But yeah, you can use it as a shield. I don't know if you're supposed to. I didn't see it on the box. Let's reference the box. Hey, this doesn't count as instructions, just so you know. All right, they don't show it on the box. You know what? I'm curious to see if it's in the instructions. Here's the instructions. All right, it is not in the instructions, so everybody, I just created this. George, the 80s Transformer fan, is now George the Creator. I just created this. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, I stopped rolling to put the backpack back on because I anticipated some trouble getting it on, but it went right back on. It kind of looked like it was going to be difficult, that little white clip in there, but it snapped right on there real easy, so I didn't have to stop rolling. So I'm going to get the ghost gun out of her hand. I'm going to get her transformed, and I do not use the instructions when I transform toys, because Transformers are puzzle play. That's part of the fun. Even when I was a kid, you just go for it. But a lot of people criticize or even joke and have fun with me about my transformations. Like, man, I thought you were going to break it. So be ready for that if you've never seen one of my reviews. Anyway, she's wearing the entire car on her back. So she's a shell former. So I'm gonna start shell forming and go for what I know. Unhinge these things, and there's a couple panels inside on the left and the right, and they fit into little ports. I believe this rotates over, and like, we're done. But no, that's pretty much it. With some more panels up here, I'm going to, she has a hinge right here. Unhinge her back, bring it down to try to make space for these panels, if that's how it's done. All right, that panel comes out, and I'm gonna repeat the beat on this side. I don't see any more panels. And her back, she has a giant hole right here, and then you slot this thing down, and this little port with the die cast rivet on it goes in that hole. If I can get it up there, I think it goes in that hole. Feels like it. All right, I got it in there. The front, the hood of the car, or part of the hood, flips up right there, locks into place. Tap that in. Again, try not to be heavy-handed, because I am a heavy-handed guy. And like, and again, we're done. Whee! Anyway, I'm going to rotate her head. Oh, she's not looking at the ground like side kill on the GoBots. Put her hands in here. And I'm basing this transformation on, because I got a few RCs and some third-party RCs. So I'm basing the transformation on that. Hope I don't mess it up trying to make it into another toy that is not. I'll rotate these legs. Pull the legs up. These big old legs. And I see there's a peg underneath here. Just in there. I'm assuming it goes into one of those slots in her leg. I'll pin it down. Heard something pop. Trying this side. And try to tuck the feet away and get some type of clearance. Looks like I don't have clearance. I think this is the basic transformation. I think I can get these legs in here a little bit better. All right, I squoze it in as best as I could, and I believe this allows enough clearance for it to roll. And I don't understand why and my transformation could be a little off. But given Transformers and knowing their history, why do they have to make it where it barely clears underneath? Like the kibble. Like if you look from the front, her head is barely clearing the tires right here. And there's no further way to push this in further. So her head's barely clearing. Her bosom, breast, or one breast thigh, is barely clearing. Look at that. And then the little kneecap things right here, barely clear. Oh, ankle caps, or ankle caps. Anklets are barely clearing. And then I guess this is a little bit more clear. But why have to cut it so close? I don't think anybody ever complained about their Transformer vehicle mode having too much clearance underneath. So I'm gonna put it down, and it's sort of kind of rolling. I have this plastic surface, and plastic on plastic doesn't usually roll too good. So I'm gonna get my turntable out. Here's a turntable because it has a little velvety surface, and I can feel it rolling. I don't know if you can see it. Lift it up. Let's check out that clearance. But yeah, look at that. Like, why does it have to barely clear like that? It might not be clearing. I mean, it might be a little bit more work I can do to press it in there, but at the same time, like, you can still see they just have just enough clearance for the vehicle mode. And then you turn into a car, it's rolling. Like, you want your car to roll. And Transformers, even Masterpiece line, I don't know why they don't understand that. Put some damn clearance on a vehicle. But here is her Cybertronian, then it's Earthrise Arcee, but it's Cybertronian mode Arcee. She's just like, I'm not converting to an Earth mode at all. So, anyway, she has the back of two molded seats right there. There is a steering wheel and a center console where a couple little buttons are right there. You cannot get a person in here. And the windshield is this weird, bizarre gray plastic. And the little tail fin right here is the same gray plastic as the gun. Speaking of gun, there's a port, or a peg, and there's a port. And we can put the gun right here. She only comes with one. A lot of RC incarnation comes with 2 guns. She comes with one. It just lays on there like somebody left it. Like, I'll be back. Hold my gun. And most of the car, vehicle, and the toy itself is pink plastic with white painted over it. And the tires are the same translucent, semi-translucent gray plastic. And I just lost the gun. And this is RC's vehicle mode. Let me see if I can dig up a picture and see just how accurate it is. Alright, here's RC vehicle mode, and I want to try to pull out a picture to see how cartoon accurate it is. Alright, and while I got her in her vehicle mode, I want to compare her to some other Transformers in their vehicle modes. Here's Siege's side swipe, just so you can see how she scales. It's pretty comparable. I guess that would be about right. You know, Cybertronian mode. And here she is next to fellow Earthrise First Wave Wheeljack. And he never rolled for Jack either. They barely gave him clearance as well. See how they scale and compare side by side. Alright, I got her back in a robot mode, and I'm going to compare her to some of my other RC incarnations that I bought over the years. Okay, here are some of the other RCs I bought over the years. This is the Earthrise RC. This one that looks most like it is the, I believe it's Thrilling 30 Transformers Generations from like 2014, 2015. This is the Titans Return from 2017. And this is a third party. I want to say her name is Delicate Warrior. So I want to take a look at the two to look the most alike. And my thing is, I'm going to bring this up later about if you own this one, do you really need this one? Bring a little bit closer with the Thrilling 30 version. A lot of people complain about the hips, how they were like too wide. Her stance was too wide. And it really doesn't bother me. It looks great. It looks great. And I'm going to take a look at these two faces side by side. And this one, like most of the cartoon art, because it would change, she has pink on her face with red lips. I think the best part about it is the pink on her face. Then she has some light piping that like doesn't work too great, because the eyes look about the same right here. They both have the car on her back. She has some of hers smooshed up underneath. And actually, I think she pulls off the look a lot better. The windshield is translucent blue. And this is like the Takara version. The American version had black where it's gray. And she has the gray gun. Look at the guns. And I'm not going to dwell on them. Keep moving. The kneecap. Then she has the gray joints right here, which I believe is screen accurate. And I can't remember, or I'm not sure if the pink feet are accurate. Here's the Titans Return version, which was completely different. And this one was a retool of Blur and some other figures. And I didn't like it. It was just, the paint deco was just too busy. But the face itself is excellent. The entire helmet piece, because it transformed to a little guy, I don't know. But just the front face is like the best looking one. The pink is perfect. The blue is perfect. The sculpt of the head is perfect. Well, like I say, just the front half. It's awesome, but this was a totally different design. Completely different. And I'm actually thinking about selling this damn thing. Last but not least, the third party RC. I use this in my G1 display. She has die cast in the chest and die cast in the kneecaps. I'm not so sure how I feel about these giant black things on the leg. We don't know why they did that. But little heel boots, those are excellent. Excellent. They'll touch better than these damn skis. The tire jutting out the back of her legs. A little molding detail. I'm going to put these guys in car mode too. Don't worry about it. Car mode coming up next. I just want to... Alright, I got all the RCs in their vehicle modes. And again, we're going to take a look at the two, well, I feel the two most similar. The Generations and the current Earthrise. I always thought the hood, the curvature on this one was just a little bit much. But I did like it. I do like it. It's pretty cool. But this one has two completely molded in seats. Center console. Looks like a little computer screen and a steering wheel with the gorgeous translucent blue windshield. And again, this one is just, but I guess it depends on what you like. I think this one pulls off the car mode a little bit better. Not a whole lot. It's just that curve right here. That Corvette curve is kind of killing me. The front, and it has more paint apps on this one. Check it out with the Titans Return. Again, this is a completely different thing. This was a remolded Blur. Yeah, it was well made, but this just didn't do it. It was alright. It was alright. The back, I like the little jets on the back that this one doesn't have, so that was cool. Swing around to the back of this one. Yeah, this one got some painted lights on the back of here. Again, this pulls out the back better. And the third-party version, again, this one has die cast, has better seats, a little bit of gapping in there, has a steering wheel and a complete dashboard, translucent window and side mirrors. The little legs right here kind of didn't pull off the back of the car, but it was pretty cool though for its day when it came out. I think I had this thing like over 10 years now. Oh, I didn't show you the bottom, and under the bottom of all these is a hot mess. Third party Delicate Warrior. Generation's not bad. The little waist piece actually covers up the face, but you see the hands hanging out, but this one is not bad. And this one cleaned up pretty good. You see the hands, but it cleans up pretty good. But overall, for these RCs, I think the Generations is overall is slightly ahead of this one than I would say this one and this one as far as my collection goes. So it begs the question, if you have any of these, do you need this one? I mean, these aren't all the RCs out there, but if I just stick to these two, I think this one is actually a little bit better than this one. I really do. All right, I got the ladies back in robot mode, and this one still holds up great. I mean, it really does. Like the collar around the neck is like a separate plastic piece. The finish of the waist is like actually sculpted, almost look like she has a navel. I mean, it's very feminine. I really think this one is still great. So if you have this one and you're on the border about getting this one, I mean, you can still use this figure because actually she fits with every Transformer line that's sort of Generation 1 related out there. And I'm pretty sure she will too. All right, before I wrap it up, I want to give you a if you didn't know moment with Arcee. Arcee was the first true female Autobot. They played around with like Ratchet being a female and Trax being a female and Road Rage, but she was the first female introduced. Even though in the cartoon continuity, in the order that we saw it, we saw Chromia, Firestar, Moonracer, and Alita 1 first, but she was already conceptualized and already being animated for Transformers the movie. So she was the first official female Autobot out there. So if you didn't know, now you know. But chronologically, we saw her like one of the last female Autobots, but they had already made plans for her. And they even made plans for a toy, and they never actually made it because the Transformers toy people were insistent at Hasbro that it was a boy line and boys went buy toys. So here's a pic of the concept of Arcee that we could have gotten. And maybe, thank goodness, we didn't get it. So anyway, my final thoughts on this figure is it's pretty cool. It's solid all the way around. I did not like the ski feet, and I do not like the gun. Everything else is pretty cool. It screams Arcee. I do like the fact that you have the choice to take the backpack off. It's just not parts forming. It's on there. It's pegged on there, hinged on there, and you can take it off. It doesn't just fall off and get the. You can take it off and get the complete cartoon aesthetic, or you can just leave it on for the people like me who don't like parts forming. We just say, hey, we're just gonna stack it up on her back, and we're going for a hike. Period. So anyway, I do recommend this figure. And the fact that it's Arcee, and if you don't have one, but if you got the Generations version, you kind of don't need this one. I'm happy with this one. If I never found Arcee, I still had a great Arcee. So having said that, I want to thank you for watching another episode of George Reviews, the reviews, where every toy has a story.